6 million soldiers from Britain and its empire fought in World War I, but did you know that 1.5 million of them were from northern India, mostly illiterate villagers consisting of Hindus, Sikhs and Muslims, forced to fight a mostly European and Western Asian war under the command of the British? Over 74,000 of them lost their lives, with many more being wounded. Even though they were fighting for the British, their rights were extremely restricted compared to white soldiers. They made up 4 times as many soldiers who came from Australia, Canada, the Caribbean, New Zealand and South Africa. Recruitment was done at a village level, because offering something better than the conditions of the villagers was enough to attract them to join the fight. Their resources were scarce. The British offered a regular pay of 11 rupees a month, a uniform and 3 meals a day. The first ever Indian to go into battle was Asala Khan of the 57th Wilds Rifles. He led the troops of the 1st Indian Company to enter the British trenches on the Western Front in Belgium on the night of October 22, 1914. Khan served until 1918 in Egypt, France, German East Africa and India and represented his regiment in London at the official Victory Parade. Indian soldiers were not allowed to be officers, and even the few highest rank Indian soldiers that were officers, specifically the Viceroy's commissioned officers, were still ranked lower than a low-ranked English officer. There were different military roles, depending on the divisions and brigades that the Indians fought in. Indian men fought across Europe, West Asia, North Africa and East Africa, and were amongst the first victims of the horrors of the trenches. Although Indians were provided religious and cultural freedom, racial segregation was still enforced. For example, white English nurses were not allowed to treat injured Indian soldiers or even visit them because they didn't want any potential relationships developing. Oral histories by Indian war veterans were also recorded in the 1970s, as well as letters. Susan Singh, who was 80 at the time of the interview, said, "We were slaves." Nand Singh said that Indian soldiers were subject to severe physical punishment, paid less than their white counterparts, segregated in camps, trains and ships, denied home leave, and banned from positions of command. Matt Singh, who was 85 when he was interviewed, said, "When we were France, we felt the French people were so lucky and were enjoying their freedom. So we also felt that India should be free. This war showed us the right path." Narain Singh said, "I felt that Indians should also enjoy freedom, like the people of other countries." Letters were highly censored by the British. Shrabani Basu, the author of For King and Another Country, said that this happened for 2 main reasons. One, to see that no military secrets or locations were inadvertently given away. Secondly, they wanted to keep a close eye on any potential rebellions or discontent. Many publications were banned, so the soldiers could not receive any anti-war propaganda. If the soldiers wrote about meeting up with white English women, those letters would not be sent. To fund large supplies of food, cash and ammunition, the British taxed Indians, and from the nominally autonomous princely states of the Indian subcontinent. In return, the British promised to deliver self-rule to India at the end of the war, but this promise was of course broken. The high taxation led to the wreckage of India's economy, along with high inflation. At the same time, many Indians died due to a widespread influenza epidemic. But Indian nationalists such as Mahatma Gandhi and the poet Rabindranath Tagore were hopeful. The latter said, "We, the famished, ragged ragamuffins of the East, are to win freedom for all humanity. We have no word for nation in our language." However, they were wrong. Instead, at the end of the war, Britain imposed the Rowlatt Act, which gave them excessive powers to suppress sedition against the empire by silencing and censoring the press, detaining political activists without trial, and arresting any individuals suspected of treason against the empire without a warrant. Any public protest against this law was met with total repression. The worst incident was the Jallianwala Bagh massacre of April 1919, when Brigadier General Reginald Dyer ordered his troops to fire without warning on 15,000 unarmed and non-violent men, women and children demonstrating peacefully in an enclosed garden in Amritsar, killing as many as 1,499 and wounding up to 1,137. This led to moderate Indians like Mahatma Gandhi to drop their previous loyalty to the British Empire. It was the catalyst of a wider nationalist movement that would help India gain their independence in 1947. What happened to all these Indian soldiers after the war? Shrabani Basu said, "Those who were injured limped back, never able to work in their fields again. Others who suffered from shell shock were never treated for their mental condition. Those who lost their eyes in the artillery shelling had to travel to Bombay for treatment, which was not possible for most. Many villages in Punjab lost their menfolk. Those who had received high gallantry awards had a marginally better life with better pensions." Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it.